Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch.
Best TV of 2023.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hi.
Welcome to Sisters Who Watch.
I'm Shelby.
And I'm Laura. And we're sisters who watch everything. TV, movies, sports, concerts, and even every single TV show of 2023.
That's right.
We love to watch, and we love talking about it even more. Today we're watching
Best TV shows of 2023. Yes. Our reviews and year-end recommendations of the best TV of the year.
That's right. And in honor of reviewing our favorite television shows, we're wearing our favorite colors. So I'm wearing lavender.
And I'm wearing Shelby. Pink. All shades.
Pink, pink, pink.
Pink, pink, pink. Pink, pink,
That's
pink.
it. Okay. Did you think this was a good year for TV? What'd you think?
Well, as we all know, because of the writer strikes and actor strikes, TV was affected, particularly this fall. So
yes.
We did not get returning seasons of things like Abbott Elementary like we were hoping to. And it led to delays of other anticipated shows that would be coming. You also had some big shows end that people really like Succession or Barry. So it was an interesting year for TV. I think it lost a lot of fan favorite shows. I think it also lost momentum given the writers and actor strikes.
Right.
I personally think there was a lot more reality TV that I watched this year than normal compared to past years. I feel like last year when we did our best movies and TV show of 2022 episode, there were so many scripted shows. It was hard to decide and not as many reality. But this year, I feel like reality TV was king because they weren't affected by the strikes. And they also, I don't know, they were on it this year. Reality TV really gave. Not going to give anything on my list, but there might be a lot of reality TV.
I know. Hint, hint. There's going to be lots of unscripted things this year.
Yes.
So I totally agree. Not as many scripted things I really enjoyed this year. Lots of reality. But hopefully that means next year we're going to have just so much more TV shows
Fingers
to
crossed.
watch. Let's see.
I hope so.
Okay, Shelby, what's your 10th favorite TV show of the year of 2023?
Yes. It's a reality show and might be one not a lot of people know about. It's Queen's Court Season 1.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, tell the people what this is about.
Queen's Court is a reality show on Peacock that stars 3 women in their late 30s, early 40s that are relatively celebrities. The first being, right? You would consider them celebrities. They're not like A-list, necessarily.
They're like D-list?
Z-list? I'm kidding. No. Kidding.
Oh.
The first is Tamar Braxton, of Braxton family fame. She's a singer. She was on Braxton Family Values, so kind of like a reality personality. Also, Evelyn Lozada, who is known from Basketball Wives and having dated Chad Ochocinco. So same kind of vein, like people in the reality world know who she is. She's stunning. And then also Nivea, who is a rapper, R&B kind of singer who has dated a lot of famous rappers. And again, kind of in the reality community.
And most notably, Nivea dated Lil Wayne. Yeah, and they have a kid together.
Yes. So they all are relatively famous and they all have lived life, right? They're not 22-year-olds looking for love. So it was really interesting seeing a reality show focused on helping them find love.
Yeah.
And it was like a combination of like The Bachelorette and Ready to Love almost. It was smaller, more intimate. And the 3 women were going on the journey at the same time and had all the same men to choose from. So there were some overlaps at times, but I was just so pleasantly surprised and into it. It was a diverse show. It was entertaining. I thought it actually had good hosts. Holly Robinson Pete and her husband Rodney Pete were actually like good hosts to me. You rarely see like good hosts on dating shows. And it was exciting to see these women, you know, try and find love and like see their personalities. Like I personally have like kind of followed Tamar and Evelyn. I didn't know much about Nivea, but it was cool to see like Evelyn Lozada, who's pretty infamous, try and like find love and, you know, get over her past. We were so into it. We watched it as a family. It had been recommended to me a few times by like friends or coworkers. And then I finally was like, I gotta watch it. And I feel like our family would like this. We got hooked and literally were binging it as a family. It was so, so funny. Even though didn't love who some of the women ended up with at the end, I thought it was a great, entertaining watch, which is why it's my number 10 favorite show.
That's a good pick. Queen's Court is not on my list, but I do think that's a great, great pick. Yeah, I mean, we're such reality TV fans, and it was a really good reality dating show, right? It was really well done. It highlighted, right, 3 women of color in their 40s, 50s, trying to find love. And yeah, it's not the typical kind of person you see on these dating shows. No. So that was really fun to see. Yeah, and 2 of the women are still with their picks from the show.
We rarely see that. Success.
Right? Even though the guy that Tamar chose is a little questionable.
Don't love it for her.
You know, but she's happy. She's happy.
They're still together.
That's what matters. So I respect the pick. I like it.
Thanks, girl. What is your number 10?
Okay, so my number 10, another reality show. Get ready.
Shocker. If you don't like reality TV, you're in for a ride.
There's going to be a lot. So mine is The Amazing Race season 35. It just ended. I watched the finale today.
Okay.
But I've been enjoying it this entire fall. 90-minute episodes because, you know, no scripted TV. So
gotta fill in that scheduling slot.
Right? Gotta fill that 8 p.m. time slot. I have always really enjoyed The Amazing Race, but this season, Shelby's also watched a handful of episodes, and it's been really, really good. I love the teams. And you know how CBS and other networks, at least 50% of reality show contestants are now, quote, diverse, right? So that's been cool to see. Like, there were 2 teams of Black women this season, albeit they did not do that great, but nonetheless,
they were there.
They were there.
They represented.
Exactly. So that was great to see. And in the finale is a dad and a son, and the dad is deaf, so the son is Coda, a child of a deaf adult, and seeing them do sign together on the show is unbelievable. It's so so amazing that they made it to the finale and he's deaf doing The Amazing Race and they're crushing it. It is so inspiring to watch them on the show. And the son is very cute, so
he is.
Also go check that out. Yes. He is. So go check them out. Go check out the show. This season was so good. So if you want something fun, inspiring, so light, it's great. This season, great. And also in the finale are these 2 Black brothers who are computer scientists at Google. They're amazing too.
Love
Just
it.
seeing them succeed and dominate has been so great. So one of the best seasons of Amazing Race I've seen in a long time. So go check it out. Season 35.
That's a goodie.
Yes.
Not on my list, but the few episodes I've seen with you were really entertaining. And we grew up watching The Amazing Race with our family. We've applied to be on the show. Fingers crossed, we eventually, you know, are able to go. But I was impressed the episodes I watched this season. It was very entertaining.
Right? Yeah, and this is also our plea to be on The Amazing Race. So if anyone knows someone who works on the show, please get Shelby and Laura, podcasting sisters, on the show. We're ready.
Ready to go.
We would win. We would win The Amazing Race.
We travel together. We work together. We watch a lot of the same stuff. haha, the podcast. Like, you know, we could
I know,
bring
we're
it.
athletes.
We're athletic. We have brains.
Yeah, we're smart. We would crush. So get us on the show, Amazing Race. Get us on the show. CBS.
I'm ready. My number 9 favorite show might be a surprise. It's a show that I've hate watched in the past, but I thoroughly enjoyed this season. It's in Just Like That season 2.
Wow, Che Diaz. Okay.
Yeah, it is a show that I hate watch season 1. I was not that into it, but season 2 was just so much better, and it felt like appointment viewing. Like, I was excited every Thursday or whatever it was to watch and Just Like That. I felt like they had more time for the characters. They understood them more. We have a whole episode on it, so if you want to listen to our episode on Just Like That season 2, please do. It's so entertaining. And this season just had so many crazy moments, like Charlotte running through the snow to give her daughter like condoms, and like
I can't.
Aiden telling Carrie to wait for him for 5 years. Like,
Ciao.
Unreal. Like, and it's stuff that, right, we're still thinking about, we're talking about. Like, it just created so much conversation. And it might not be, you know, like a critically acclaimed show, but I felt like it really improved from season 1 to season 2. And season 2 was so entertaining. I'm glad it's been renewed for season 3. And just like that, goodness. I'm hooked. I don't know. They got me.
We'll be reviewing. We'll be reviewing season 3. We'll be there. Yeah, one of our more popular episodes in Just Like That season 2. Yeah. We were not expecting it.
No.
We're not expecting
People are watching.
It did not make my list, spoiler, but I agree. It wasn't as much of a dumpster fire as season 1. And it's very entertaining. I totally agree with that. I never thought I'd say it, but justice for Carrie Bradshaw. She was done dirty this season. She's usually the one doing people dirty. So, you know, I felt bad for her this season.
Yeah. I'd say for like my TV choices, it's not always about like quality. It's like, how much did I enjoy it? You know? Yes. Like, was it entertaining? Was it enjoyable? Was I hooked? And I was hooked within Just Like That season 2.
I get it. I agree. We're about enjoyment, having fun, how the show made us feel, right? Yes. The Amazing Race, it's not the highest quality of television, but nonetheless, very enjoyable. So that is the perfect segue to my number 9. So my number 9 is House of Villains on E.
The episode's already off the rails. People are going to be turning it off.
No, hear me out. So this is season 1. House of Villains had just premiered. And y'all, let me tell you, look up the cast. Watch the pilot. This show is off the rails. Talk about an inventive, wildly entertaining reality show. So basically the premise is House of Villains is pretty self-explanatory. It takes some of the most famous reality TV villains and they put each other in a house. And they have to make alliances and play games to figure out who's the greatest villain of all time. And the winner gets $100,000. And they vote each other out. It's kind of like Survivor, maybe like Big Brother. I haven't seen Big Brother, but it's kind of like that. It's so good. If you love reality TV, you would love it because it brings everyone you know. Omarosa, Tiffany New York Pollard is back. Jax Taylor from Vanderpump Rules. Corinne Olympios from The Bachelor.
Remember it just is giving so crazy. Too much chaos.
It is so chaotic. It is so good. Go watch House of Villains. It is great. It is peak reality television. I enjoy every episode. It's absolutely off the rails. Shake from Love is Blind, who was with Deepti, he's also on it, and he continues to be the worst human being.
He's probably thriving on it. He's been knowing him. He's probably like loving being the villain. Right.
Continuing to put women down at every opportunity he gets.
I'm sure.
It's absolutely wild. Go watch House of Villains on E.
You've recommended this. I should start watching because I know a lot of those villains. It's just there's so much content right now. But that's one I gotta watch.
It's great.
Another show that I think improved from season 1 to season 2. Another show that you don't watch. It's The Sunrise Turned Pretty season 2.
Oh, okay.
The Sunrise Turned Pretty season 2 is my number 8 show of the year. This is something that did not make my list last year, probably because there was like so much content. But this year, you know, the lack of content slid its way through. It is on Amazon Prime, and it's a YA dramedy, like romantic drama. It's created by Jenny Han from To All the Boys I Loved Before fame, and it's based on her book, The Summer I Turned Pretty. So it has Asian representation, which we love, and it's set in like a beach town in Massachusetts, and it's just like a fun, light, breezy. It feels like I'm reading a book on vacation when I watch it. It's honestly like, remember those John Green movies, like The Fault in Our Stars? It's giving that energy. And I feel like we haven't had a lot like that on our screens in a while. Like, it's been more like traditional rom-coms. We haven't had like a rom-dram, and I'm into it. It does really well on Amazon Prime. They renewed it for season 3. I haven't watched like YA shows in a while, but I'm into it. I recommend if you're looking for kind of like a light YA show, a little romance, a little drama. It's entertaining.
Okay. I know you have recommended it to me.
I have.
I'm not rushing to watch it, but maybe after review, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, and one of the actors is going to be in the new Mean Girls movie.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
You would know that if you watch The Summer Turned Pretty.
Well, I don't. So maybe I'll have to watch it. So, okay, good to know. My number 8 is, I believe you don't watch the show, and I don't know if we've talked about it, but I got this recommendation from Reasonably Shady, a podcast by some of our favorite Real Housewives of Potomac, Giselle and Robin. So they give recommendations on their show, and they recommended this show called The Righteous Gemstones. And it's a show on HBO Max.
I have heard of it.
Written and directed by Danny McBride. Adam Devine is in it. John Goodman, an all-star cast. They have lots of guest stars. So after Robin Giselle recommended it, I was like, okay, let me check this out. I've also heard of it, critically acclaimed. So I watched all 3 seasons this year. Season 3 came out this year. And it's very, very good. So the premise is, it's this family in the South who runs this mega church. And you see basically the corruption in this family and the antics of the church, how they're not the best representation of Christians, right? They do a lot of shenanigans. It is very polarizing, and it's like a dark comedy. And there's some like mysteries. There's like murder mysteries throughout the series. I will say the pilot from season 1 was one of the best pilots I've ever seen. It was so entertaining.
Wow,
and
praise!
I recommend it. It's a really good show. Check it out, HBO Max. Just Max now.
I have never heard you talk about this before, so I'm a little shocked.
I know. I was thinking.
I'm like, do I believe you? I'm kidding.
I was reflecting back on the non-reality shows I was watching. I was like, what else was I watching this year? And I just started randomly watching it. And yeah, it's really good, really funny. Go check it out.
We love Giselle and Robin, so if they recommended, I have to trust them.
Right? And I recommend it too. So Laura, Giselle, Robin, you gotta go watch that show.
A lot of praise. Yeah. My number 7 best TV show of 2023 is Love is Blind season 4.
Oh.
So there were 2 seasons of Love is Blind this year, so not to confuse it with the most recent season 5. Love is Blind season 4 came out this spring. It's the season where our favorite couple, Brett and Tiffany, got together. Our shocking couple, Kwame and Chelsea, got together. And then our other favorite couple, Bliss and Zach, got together, who are currently expecting a baby.
Oh,
so cute.
I'm so happy for them.
But the reason why I think this season makes the list of my favorite shows this year is because it had the perfect balance of romance and drama. You know how in The Bachelor they say it's the most dramatic season yet. Things that have never happened before will happen. Like, that actually happened on that season of Love is Blind. The fact that Zach picked Irina and then changed his mind and went back to Bliss. That's crazy.
Absurd.
And there was also like the drama with Marshall and Jackie, and Josh, which was crazy. And you had Kwame and Micah and Chelsea. Like there was a lot of drama.
Ooh,
it was like peak drama, but you had love with Zach and Bliss and Brett and Tiffany, which I think made up for it. So I feel like it was a really good balance of both. We have a podcast episode on it if you want to dive deeper into it. It was one of the better Love is Blind seasons since season 1. Like it had been a while. Yes. And I was getting nervous about Love is Blind. And given season 5, I'm back to being nervous again. But season 4 was really good. I was thinking back to when it came out early this year. Like I was watching every episode right away. I was consuming it like crazy. Like I was into that show. So I was like, this show has to make the list.
Surprise, surprise. It's also my number 7.
Love is Blind. It is.
I mean, I think it might be the best season of Love is Blind.
It was really good.
It was so good. Brett and Tiffany, I'm obsessed with them. I follow them on Instagram. Zach and Bliss having a baby now is just the best news ever. Chaos. Probably some of the best drama I've ever seen on a reality TV show. It was so good. I love this season of Love is Blind. Might be better than season 1. I think they're neck and neck. It's a tie for me. But can't say enough. It was so good. Check out our full episode. That's one of my favorite episodes we did this past year. It's a really good episode. Yeah. Go listen.
Now on to my number 6. Still in the reality vein. My 6th best show of the year is The Golden Bachelor Season 1.
Oh snap.
We recently dropped an episode on The Golden Bachelor with our mom. It's a great one, so I recommend listening to it if you haven't. Basically, The Golden Bachelor, right, is the golden older take on the Bachelor franchise. So Gary Turner, our 72-year-old stunner, is the lead, and it was a highlight seeing older women that were just so confident and beautiful in their 60s and 70s pine for Gary's heart. It was honestly the most entertaining season of The Bachelor I've seen in years. Yes, there were some cons by the end of the season, and listen to our review for the whole POV. But, Gary did some questionable things. Some hearts were broken. Some fan favorites were sent home, which we didn't love. But regardless, the cast of women were great. It was so funny. It was like a breath of fresh air compared to the rest of the franchise. Finally, a happy couple. Finally, mature men and women on a dating show. Like, it was just what I needed. The Golden Bachelor gave. It really, checked off all the boxes.
A surprise, actually. It did not make my list of best TV shows of the year.
Wow.
Because I think the ending and Gary's shenanigans really tarnished it for me, whereas everything else on my list, no misses, no skips, right? Everything about that show I really loved. But the first half of The Golden Bachelor, absolutely obsessed with the season. Second half, I got really frustrated watching it and listened to the whole episode for all my opinions. But I agree. Best Bachelor season, hands down. Maybe since Sean Lowe, right?
It was so good.
It was so good. It was so entertaining. I loved the cast. The women were amazing. I just want a season of just the woman living in the house, hanging out,
playing Never Have Ever.
Yes, exactly. Telling all their Scandi stories of when they were in their 20s and 30s,
making guacamole and meatballs, chilling in the pool. Yes. That's all we need.
That's all I want. That's all I want. So I agree. I loved The Golden Bachelor. I thought it was a great show. And there needs to be a Golden Bachelorette, Golden Bachelor in Paradise, everything. Get rid of the regular one. I just want the Golden franchise. That's all I want. Amazing pick, Shelby.
Thank you. I'm surprised you didn't make your list, but I'm curious for what your number 6 is.
So my number 6 is Abbott Elementary Season 2.
Okay.
Yes. Because last year, this was higher on my TV show list, but I think there were other series that I just really loved more this year. But always, we did a full episode review of the season, so check that out. We dive into everything. But it's always so funny. I love the characters. The acting is so good. Quinta Brunson, such an icon. I've been a fan of hers since her BuzzFeed days 10 years ago. So it's worth all the acclaim. It's so funny, so heartwarming. And I liked how this season they explored the charter school theme and how they were trying to make Abbott Elementary no longer a public school and make it a charter school.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really interesting storyline because I feel like I know friends who have gone to charter schools and it's a controversy, right? People are talking about this. And I've never seen a topic like that explored on TV before. So it just talks about really important concepts and topics of conversation that people aren't talking about. So I love that show. Season 2 was great, just like season 1. But there are just other things I loved even more this year.
A segue to my number 5, because it's Abbott Elementary season 2.
Whoa!
It did crack my top 5, but I hear what you're saying about how it didn't crack your top 5. You know, don't have to belabor it. Big fans of Quinta, big fans of the show. If you listen to our Abbott Elementary season 2 episode, you know I was a fan from the jump. I was telling people to watch Abbott.
Yes.
I knew right away it was a gem. I could feel it. I love myself a network comedy. And I just think Quinta is hilarious. I think she's a genius. I think it's a stacked cast. Shirley Ralph is amazing. Janelle James is amazing. Like, everyone is so good and funny. And I just feel like it's been a loss not having that this fall and winter. I feel like everyone I know is like, oh, I wish Abbott Elementary was on TV. I definitely miss having that, you know, weekly dose of comedy. It's needed.
100%. Yeah, that's a show I definitely miss too. So great pick. We have great taste. What can we say?
We do. Great taste aligned.
Yes, we do.
Shocker.
So my number 5, I have a feeling Shelby will also be talking about this at some point, but my number 5, I'm combining two things, but it's just the Love Island universe. That is my number 5. Love Island UK season 10 and Love Island Games season 1 is my number 5 best TV show of 2023. So we reviewed Love Island UK season 10. It was so entertaining, so messy, so dramatic, so dramatic. Twists and turns. Did not expect Jess and Sammy to win. Ellen and Tyreek just imploding on each other. It just, the mess, the drama.
So
Justice for Whitney and Lock-In. That's who I was rooting for. Shelby toxically.
Team Ella and Tyreek.
Shelby is toxically Team Ella and Tyreek.
It's the black love for me.
Toxic black love. You know, they're still together, so maybe they'll surprise me, but they have not given me reason on the show to support the relationship in any way. So unfortunately, that's how I feel. But nonetheless, it was a really, really entertaining season. So much drama. And Love Island Games, we did not review that, but we did tweet about it. So check out our Twitter and our tweets on that show. When I think of some of the best new reality TV shows this year, I think of House of Villains and Love Island Games. So it's basically like Bachelor in Paradise meets Survivor. So it's a normal season of Love Island, but they have people from all the different countries. So they have Germany, France, Australia, UK, US, and they all date each other. Do you remember when they had Bachelor Winter Games?
Yes, of course.
Yes. It's honestly very similar to that show because they compete in couples. And they do challenges and games against each other. And the more games you win, the more power you have as a couple. And in the end, the top 2 couples battle it out to win $100,000. So, man, y'all, really, really good show.
So good.
Go watch it. It's peak reality television, and it's on Peacock. Highly recommend.
We have a lot of Peacock recommendations. I'd say that's like the biggest shock of the year. Peacock coming through with all this content.
Stepping up.
Really stepping up. I'm on Peacock every week.
Literally, same.
Crazy.
We're getting down to it.
4 is very different than most of the stuff on here, right? We've had comedy, we've had a reality on my list, we've had some shows I've hate watched, and just like that. But my number 4 series of the year is Beef, a Netflix miniseries starring Stephen Young and Ali Wong. So good.
Yeah, amazing.
We did not review it in the podcast, so I'll give a brief overview. it starts off with like a road rage incident between Ali Wong, who's like a housewife and like garden plant entrepreneur, and Stephen Young, a struggling plumber. And they have a road rage incident that just slowly unravels their lives. A24 produced it, which makes a lot of sense because it really goes off the walls at times. And it goes places you wouldn't think that, like, from a road rage incident, these people's lives would change permanently. And it is just so fascinating. And I like how it deals with the themes of, like, right, anger and mental health and societal pressures and, like, money and comparison, and as well as, like, faith. And it just is so fascinating to me how they're able to tackle so many different topics. And I think what was like maybe an 8 or 6 episode like miniseries. The acting is like top notch. Steven and Ali and the show in general are getting a lot of awards buzz. Like, a lot of people think it's going to win all the Emmys and awards for best miniseries. I also love how there was a lot of representation. Like, for the most part, it was almost like an all Asian cast. Like, right? Like, not many non-Asian people in the show. So we love the representation. It was so creative. Like, it gets very intense, which is cool. It's like thrilling. There's a bit of a mystery to it. You're like, wait, why does people hate each other so much? What's going to happen? Are they really going to blow up their lives? I'm not going to give any spoilers, but like, it goes from like 0 to 100 really fast.
Real quick. I totally agree. I really love this show. So the church scene with Steven Yeun is so good. A couple that he's friends with is like, come to church with us. And wow, so powerful. They're playing this elevation worship song, I think. Oh, come to the altar. And Steven Yeun is just like standing in the pew, and he just like tears just start rolling down his face.
I think that alone could win him an Emmy. Like, that scene was unreal.
Amazing. So yeah, I'm aligned. I also really, really enjoyed that show. Top notch. So my number 4 is Vanderpump Rules season 10. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Okay. Tell us why.
I feel like this year we're seeing peak reality television.
Yeah, it was a good year for reality TV.
Whoa.
That's why we have so many reality TV shows on our list.
Right.
It's really good.
This is wow. Vanderpump Rules season 10. And for context, up until this year, I had never ever watched Vanderpump Rules. Not a single episode, nothing. So our family, we're Bravoholics, right? We watch a lot of Bravo TV. And I think in general, this has been a good year for Bravo. So this is like a Bravo shout out, but specifically Vanderpump Rules season 10. If you have been just on social media at all, you know what Scandoval is. Scandoval is this phenomenon where Tom Sandoval of Vanderpump Rules, he cheated on his girlfriend of 10 years, Ariana Madix, with her best friend, Raquel Levis. So Raquel and Ariana have been best friends on the show for years. Tom and Ariana met on the show over 10 years ago and started dating, and they're all bartenders at Lisa Vanderpump's restaurants in West Hollywood. And Lisa Vanderpump is from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then she got her own show, and now all the bartenders from this show have become celebrities. So this was such a big deal. I had never seen the show, but everyone was talking about it. And then I immediately was like, I have to watch season 10. So I hopped in halfway through, and wow, this is cinema, y'all. Like, that season 10 is cinema because you see the beginning of Scandoval. You see Tom and Raquel getting closer. Crazy. And you see them getting like touchy-feely and ha. And the beginning of the season, nothing like romantic or sexually had happened between them, but halfway through the season, they hooked up, and you see the difference. And you see Raquel being like, are you and Tom happy, Ariana? Like, how are things going between you and Tom? Like, all this stuff, and you're like, this is sinister. The dynamics in this friend group have been off for years. They've all cheated on each other, with each other in the group. It's very bizarre. Shelby knows. She's rewatching the old seasons.
I'm starting it from the beginning to catch up. Because like Laura said, we did not grow up watching it. And all I'll say is I don't know how any of them are friends. Because I'm through season 4, and I'm like, these people are crazy. They're fighting each other, sleeping with each other. They're somehow all working together. The math's not mathing. It is fascinating, though, to see how Ariana and Tom got together in the beginning. So it's interesting now seeing that, given how it ends. But all these guys, both Toms, Jacks, they were all fishy from the jump. So none of this behavior surprises me.
Now, Ariana Madix is a star. She's everywhere now. She was on Dancing with the Stars. She made it to the finale. And now she's on Broadway. She's starring in Chicago on Broadway. Did you not know this?
No.
You didn't hear about this? She's the lead in Chicago on Broadway now. In New York.
What? No.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Yes. Look it up right now. She's now starring in Chicago. She's a Broadway star now.
Does she sing?
Apparently. I was watching Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, because of course. And he was saying people are surprised because they're like, Ariana doesn't sing, but she does. And apparently she sang at BravoCon before. So she does sing. Andy was like, she's a great singer and clearly a great dancer because of Dance with the Stars. So perfect for Broadway, I guess.
I'm shook. Wow.
Like the worst thing that happened to her, like the apparent worst thing that happened to her has just catapulted her to success. It just shows you what's meant for your evil, right?
Come on.
Is meant for your good. I mean,
don't preach on
come
them
on now. Come on.
Wow. Love it for her. I also think that's so embarrassing for Tom because if you've seen Vanderpump Rules, Tom's the singer, right? He's in a band.
Yes.
And now his ex, who we never knew sang, is on Broadway. Yikes. Well, you're at home.
On Special Forces on Fox.
Oof.
And on The Masked Singer. But I do love The Masked Singer, but he did get voted off pretty quickly.
Yes, that's fair. Okay. Ariana's on Broadway. He's in The Masked Singer. Yes.
There you go. So yeah, in conclusion, Vanderpump Rules season 10 was absolutely mind-blowing. And then at the end, they taped the aftermath of Scandival because they filmed months in advance. And then while the show was airing, all this drama came out. The scandal came out. And wow, the conversations between Ariana and Tom, screaming match was just unbelievable. The reunion, if you have not seen the Vanderpump Rules season 10 reunion, you don't even have to watch the show. Just watch the reunion. It is so good. One of the best Bravo reunions I have ever seen. So, can't recommend Vanderpump Rules season 10 enough. Go watch it.
That was a good one, Laura. I like that. I did not expect you to say that, but I think that was a goodie.
Iconic.
It's a goodie. My number 3 best TV show of 2023 is Queen Charlotte: A Bridgerton Story.
Ooh. Yes. Shonda Land.
This is something that we talked about on the podcast. We reviewed it earlier this year. I recommend watching. We have some funny moments, especially talking about Lord Danbury.
Yes.
You know, I am a Bridgerton fan, but Queen Charlotte really, I think, was the best any kind of Bridgerton story has been. Like the first season of Bridgerton, like I think watched because everyone was talking about it during the pandemic, not like, I really need to see it. And then season 2, I was really into, but not that many people were. But I feel like Queen Charlotte was some of the best work Shonda's done in years. It's a mini series, so she had less time, right, to like focus on the characters. And I feel like from beginning to end, it was so well done. It was topical, looking at like mental health and what it means to be in a marriage with someone who has mental illness. Also looks at the royal family and what it means to like have a monarchy and like have to rule and take care of kids and ruling when you're just thrown into something like that. You know, she's an outsider, Queen Charlotte. She didn't know anything about the British monarchy and then all of a sudden becomes the queen. I thought it was, of course, you know, beautifully shot, all of the costumes and the design. And I loved the like romance and chemistry. Like I was so into this show. Like again, looking back and reflecting, on shows for the year, I was like, yeah, in May or April, whenever this came out, I was like dialed in. I binged it really fast. I was super into it. I was telling everyone to watch it. I thought it was the perfect balance of like romantic drama, but also like a topical, important like history. And if you don't know, like Queen Charlotte's like an actual figure. And this is like a fictitious like account and telling of like her relationship with King George. I think it was really well done. I know a lot of people want to see a sequel, but you know, it was a miniseries. I think hopefully they just keep it as like the standalone season. I think they did a really good job. I don't think they need to mess with it, but I was a big fan, and it's definitely one of the best things I watched this year.
So Queen Charlotte did not make my top 10.
Shocker.
But I mean, yeah, we check out our full-length review. I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was great, super well done. I agree. Way better than Bridgerton for me.
Right? It was just so much better quality. Better. Yeah.
Yes. Acting was great. The king, super cute. So that's always fun to see.
A plus.
And also Queen Charlotte was just stunning, and seeing this Black Queen, it was just so great to see. And also I love seeing Lady Danbury's backstory.
Yes.
Loved that. So
just seeing these royal Black women running things.
Right? Loved it. So I like your pick. I respect the pick. Okay, so my number 3 is The Bear Season 2.
Okay.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef. Okay, chef.
We reviewed this episode, one of our most popular episodes of the year.
Yes.
So if you haven't listened, please check it out. We give all of our takes, all of our favorite moments. I mean, this show is such high quality, and this also made our best TV show list of 2022. So also check out that episode. The acting is great. I love seeing the behind the scenes in the kitchen and them yelling at each other, but seeing these gorgeous dishes and meals that they prepare. Io Edebri, like I said, check out our best movies of 2023 episode. This is a stan account of Io Edebri.
Fans.
We love her. So seeing her break out, she was nominated for a Golden Globe for this role. She's awesome as Sydney. I dressed up as Sydney for Halloween this year. So.
Ooh, that was a very popular costume. Sydney and Carmi.
Yes, the bear. Yes, Sydney and Carmi were everywhere this Halloween. Absolutely everywhere. Absolutely iconic. It was like Barbie and Ken and Sydney and Carmi. Those were the costumes everyone was. So it's just such an iconic show. And that Christmas episode was one of the best episodes of TV. Fishes. It was one of the best episodes I've seen ever, period. The reason why it's not higher,
I know, I'm curious.
We mentioned in our review of the season that the first half was slow. The first half of the season was slow. I stopped watching it for like a couple weeks, but the second half really picked up. So the second half was amazing. First half, not as much. So that's why it's number 3.
That's fair. It definitely is a very popular show right now. Like you said, it's one of our more popular podcast episodes. Everyone was Sydney and Carmi for Halloween. It's getting a lot of awards buzz. Like the Bear's having a moment. And much deserved. Like, it's a really good show. On to number 2. Getting to the nitty gritty. My number 2, Laura's already mentioned this, but it's Discovering Love Island. I, before this year, have never watched Love Island. I've heard of it, but this was like the year of Love Island for me. Like, Love Island UK season 10 and Love Island Games were so good. Like, it is hard to explain how much I was into those shows and, like, how much I watched them. Like, Love Island UK season 10 is a lot of episodes.
It's like almost 70.
70 episodes. That's insane. Love Island Games was 19. The amount of Love Island I've watched this year.
Almost 100 episodes of Love Island, y'all.
Is ridiculous. But I was so into it. And as someone who loves reality TV and dating shows, I was just taken aback and shocked that I had never watched this before. And apparently Love Island UK season 10 is one of the best seasons ever. So maybe I just got in a good time because it was so entertaining. The drama with Messy Mitch, the couples that were unexpected, like Whitney and Locken, and the couples that were there from the beginning, like Jess and Sammy and Ella and Ty. Like, It was great. I was Team Ellen Ty, and you can listen to our full episode on Love Island UK Season 10 for thoughts. I just love seeing these like young people just have real conversations and like date normally. Like, I think watching The Bachelor has like scarred me because I just think everyone has to be so like petty and dramatic, and I just want to be an influencer. Love Island seems more real. It's hard to explain. Like, it seems more real. It seems like they're actually having conversations with each other and you get to know them more. So I was really invested. And then you throw in Love Island Games, which was like so good. Laura already mentioned it's like the perfect balance of competition and love. And the way it ended with Justine and Jack was like the most poetic ending to a show ever. And a lot of times reality shows don't end how you want them to. So the fact that it did, I was just like thrilled. So Love Island, discovering it this year is my number 2. That was such a highlight for me. I don't know what I've done without it.
I've got a text.
I've got a text.
I'm with you, girl. Love Island this year was doing its thing. Wow, good number 2.
Thanks.
My number 2 is Jury Duty. Oh, Jury Duty. Okay, so this show was very trendy and popular this year.
Yes.
Okay, so let me explain for the people. Jury Duty is on Amazon Prime. Freebie via Amazon Prime, yes. So there's one normal person named Ronald Gladden. He is not an actor. And he sees a Craigslist ad saying, oh, like, come be on a jury for a documentary and you'll get paid. Like, that's what it is. So he sees this Craigslist ad. He's like, okay, let me do this jury duty thing. Why not? But he doesn't know that everyone else is an actor. And they're all paid to be there. They all have characters. They all have scripts. This is all being filmed. James Marsden is in it. They just go through the jury duty process. The characters are just acting so ridiculous. And you see that Ronald Gladden, the normal person, he absorbs it all. And he's the kindest, nicest person throughout all the shenanigans. The things that they ask him to do. The things that he sees. The nonsense. And he's just like, oh... I understand where you're coming from. Maybe do this instead. It was so, so sweet. And everyone on the set fell in love with him. And now he's a celebrity. He's walking down red carpets, Ronald Gladden. And it is so, so well done. Talk about unique stories. I've never, ever seen anything like Jury Duty before. It was so good. And it's getting all these awards. It's nominated for a bunch of Golden Globes, so... wow, what a show.
Yeah, I feel like it was a big surprise from the year. I actually recommended it to the family. We started watching it together. And I'm glad that you got hooked, Laura.
Yes, I was like, I have to see how this ends. I'm like, how are they pulling this off? How is he going to react when they tell him it's all fake?
Crazy.
I've never seen anything like it. Go check it out. It's very
such a creative premise for a show.
I know, it's hard to create new ideas these days, right? Things we've never seen before. So, love it. I wonder if they do another season. I just don't know if they can replicate something like that.
You'd have to hope someone hasn't seen the show. Like, you'd have to make sure they have no idea what Jury Duty is, because if not, they're going to be like, what's going on? You know? Unless, I don't know, what's another thing similar to Jury Duty that they could, like, use as a setting to trick someone? I don't know what that is. But if they can find, like, another version.
What if it was something like diversity training or a leadership workshop? And you, like, invite and people come and it's, like, maybe a workplace harassment thing.
And people are saying the craziest things and you're like, oh, you can't say that in a work environment.
Like, I don't think you should be teaching people that. I mean, Freebie, Amazon, pick this up. This is a good idea. It could be, like, diversity training. Or, like, sexual harassment. Maybe something like that, like Jury Duty. And you take a normal person. And they just keep on doing versions of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, find, like, different environments. And then it's almost like an anthology series.
Right. Yes. Hire us as producers. We give great ideas on this podcast. Shelby, what are your honorable mentions?
Yes, my first one is The Price is Right season 52, which we
I
make an
can't.
appearance on.
Yes.
We were on The Price is Right. George Gray called my name. Unreal. So crazy. You can watch the November 17th episode from 2023 and hear my name called. It is pretty surreal, but it's like so funny just thinking about it. But The Price is Right is something we grew up watching with our family. And this past summer, we were watching it with our grandfather like every day when we were in Mississippi. And we were both like, wow, this is like such a good show. You kind of forget like how entertaining a game show can be.
Right.
And we were just watching it all the time. And so I really got an appreciation for The Price is Right this year. And the fact that we were on it, big fans. So if you ever want like a light watch that's just kind of like casual,
So good.
they have episodes of The Price is Right on Paramount Plus. You can just have it on in the background of your day while you're working or cleaning. It's definitely more entertaining than you remember if you grew up with it. Or if you didn't, just check it out for fun. Like, you'll definitely be hooked if you're looking for like a chill game show.
Specifically, check out November 17th episode 2023, and you'll see Shelby. You'll see her. She's called right in the beginning. So go check out that episode. Let us know what you think, what you could have done differently, etc., etc.
Yikes.
Yeah. Go check her out. Celebrity status.
Oh,
basically
my
the star of the show.
gosh.
Yeah, I totally agree. The Price is Right is a show that I have always really enjoyed. Yeah, we watch it with our family every time we're just at home because, yeah, it's cable, right? I don't just have cable on in my apartment, but it's always fun to watch with family. Yeah, and it's on Paramount Plus, so I've been able to watch it there. So go check it out and check out Shelby, November 17th.
And then my other honorable mention is discovering Are You the One? Another reality dating show that I discovered this year. Laura had recommended it and some coworkers had recommended it. I had heard it a lot. And then when Are You the One season 9 premiered, I was like, okay, we got to start watching this from the beginning. I've watched so many dating shows this year. It's crazy just thinking back. Like, discovered Love Island, discovered Are You the One? But Are You the One is on MTV, I believe. And it's so entertaining. It's like messier than the Bachelor franchise. And they like pick people that seem like they all have a screw loose. But
they pick such mentally unstable people for Are You the One, who should not be dating anyone. They pick the worst people ever. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. And Are You the One season 1 with like Shanley and some of these people is
iconic.
So I watched a lot of seasons this year, and season 9 came out, which was pretty good, but discovering the franchise as a whole was a highlight for me. Like, it is so entertaining, and if you are looking for a new reality show to start binging, Are You the One is definitely it. Since it's MTV, they have some episodes in Paramount Plus. I think they've had episodes on Hulu and Netflix, so you have to search for it. But it is messy and dramatic. The premise is you have like a perfect match in this house of men and women, and you have to find your perfect match by the end of like the 10 weeks. And if everyone finds their perfect match, you win $1 million. But if you don't win the money. You have chances to like put couples into like a truth booth to find out if they're a perfect match. And a lot of times people find out they're not, but then sadly stay together and then like mess it up for everyone else because they're like, no, you need to find your perfect match. You shouldn't be with this guy. You weren't matched up with him for a reason. Just all this stuff. It is so messy, so good. Highly recommend.
Yes, I totally agree. I discovered Are You the One during either 2020 or 2021. During the pandemic, I was watching anything and everything that was on Hulu or Netflix. Oh, I was watching everything. So I discovered Are You the One, and I was like, this is peak television. Season 1 of Are You the One was the best reality TV dating shows ever. Seasons ever. It's like kind of a better version of the Bachelor in Paradise, right?
Yeah.
And one of my favorite couples from any reality dating show, Clinton and Uche. Yeah. Yes. They're still together, they're going strong, and they're from Are You the One? So Great show. If you, go find it. It's on Hulu, Netflix, and Paramount Plus. It's really good.
So good. Laura, what are your honorable mentions?
Wow. Okay, so another reality TV show. Ha ha ha. So Claim to Fame Season 2 is my first honorable mention. Just period claim to fame. Such an underrated show. More people need to watch it. So basically these people who are related to celebrities are put in this house and they have to figure out who each person is related to. So there are clues hidden in the house. There are clues in the different challenges each week. And you have to put your detective hat on and use these clues to figure out who is related to which celebrity. It is so good. It is such a great concept. And it's a show I've never seen before, right? It's not a dating show. It's completely unique. And season 1 was amazing. Shout out to Keke Palmer's sister, who was on the show. And this season, somehow Nick Cannon finds a way to remain in the zeitgeist. Nick Cannon's brother crushed it on there, and I just have loved both winners on the show. And Donny Osmond's son was on this most recent season, and no one could figure out who he was, and it was really funny. They thought he was related to Elton John. They had the absolute worst guesses.
It was just so bad.
But it's great. I love Claim to Fame. That's a show I've always been looking forward to. We have some good tweets that went viral from that show, so go check out our Twitter too. Love Claim to Fame.
Yeah, Claim to Fame was really good this year. It almost made my honorable mentions, but did not. So it's a good call.
Valid. There's a lot of good content for TV this year. There is. It's hard. So definitely check that out. It should be on Hulu. And I have another honorable mention. It is not reality TV.
Oh.
It is What We Do in the Shadows. And it's a vampire dark comedy. It's not that dark. It's very funny. And it was written by Taika Waititi. It's adapted and based off of the movie that he did earlier in the 2010s. It's really funny. It's super unique. And Harvey Guillen, who's blowing up right now, who was Perito in my favorite movie from last year, Puss in Boots' Last Wish.
So good as Perito.
He was, and he's great in this show. It's just really funny, really unique, and it's a light watch that I always enjoy. So, and I want to give a scripted shout out in my honorable mention. So, I always enjoy that show. So, go check it out. It's really funny.
What season was it?
It was season 5 of What We Do in the Shadows, and season 6 will be coming out in 2024. I know, so I don't know that many people who watch it, but clearly people are. So yeah, it's been going on for 5 seasons now. It's really good.
Good for them.
FX.
Laura, we're down to our number 1 TV shows. Woo! Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I know you all cannot wait to hear.
Shelby.
My number 1 TV show of 2023 is The Bear Season 2.
Oh my gosh! Yes, chef! Yes, chef!
Laura already talked about it from beginning to end. I think the best TV show I watched this year. I didn't think it would be possible for it to get better than season 1, and to me it did. It felt like a movie. Like you were able to explore the side characters a bit more, which I liked. Not that we don't like Carmi, but I appreciated that each other character got dedicated episodes, like Richie learning what it means to like do fine dining. And the fishes episode was so good. I feel like every Christmas everyone should watch that because it's like one of the better Christmas TV episodes I've seen.
Oh yeah.
The acting was great, the directing, the cinematography, the storyline. Everything about The Bear season 2 was really good. Everyone should be watching it, and I feel like a lot of people already are since it's so buzzy and trendy and getting a lot of awards buzz. And I have a feeling like hopefully we'll get some wins.
100%. I second everything you said. Great show. Amazing.
If you haven't seen it, you should watch.
Yeah, check out our episode 2. Okay, my number 1 is Beef. As I mentioned with The Bear season 2, The first half was kind of slow. It took a minute for me to get into it, but Beef starts out
hit the ground
running. Yes, hit the ground running. I'd never ever seen a show like this. It was so good. Every episode got more and more insane. I don't know how they amped up the shenanigans, the nonsense, the chaos every single episode. And I was just blown away. The acting was top notch. Like we said, that church scene with Steven Yeun was just unbelievable. Never seen a show like it. I thought it was amazing. So, yeah, my best TV show of the year, hands down.
Both of our best TV shows are like front runners in their categories. A lot of people think The Bear season 2 could win the Emmy for best comedy. A lot of people think Beef could win the Emmy for best miniseries. So we have good taste.
We have good taste. What can we say? Oh my gosh, Shelby, we finished our list.
Made it to the end. Hope you all enjoyed. We gave you a lot of recommendations.
Yes.
Some new ones that we haven't reviewed already, but some ones we did. So if you haven't listened to those episodes, go back and listen.
Yes. And if you enjoyed this episode of Sisters Who Watch, please give us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and wherever you stream your podcast. 5 stars would be much appreciated. Thank y'all. And make sure you're following us at Sisters Who Watch on all social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We are there. Go follow us and show us some love.
We appreciate y'all. You can also DM us on social media. Email us at sisterswhowatch@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Let us know what you think about the podcast and if you have any recommendations. We really appreciate the support. Thanks, y'all.
Yes, thank you.
Stay watching.
Bye. Everything. Stay watching.